We'll now look at how another form of compression, general file compression using zip, is done. If you have a Word document, or actually any file, and you want to compress it, which means get the file size smaller, but when you use zip compression, you're doing it without losing any quality. Zip is what's called lossless compression, so it stores the patterns of the bytes, but makes it such that there's no quality lost. So, looking at this Word document, if I right-click it and choose Properties, we see that its size is approximately 34,000 bytes. If I create a zip archive for it, it will compress the file down as much as it can. Zip archives actually serve two purposes. One is to compress any file that you put into the zip archive. The second is that a zip archive is a single file into which you can put multiple files, each being compressed when it goes in. So in some sense, a zip archive is like a container into which you can put other files. The result being a single file, all compressed, that contains all the other files. In many of our courses, we ask you to turn in a single zip file when you've generated multiple files for an assignment. So, for instance, in an image assignment, we might have you take an image and generate multiple versions of it, but then to turn it in, we'll have you put it into a zip archive and simply turn in the single file, which is the zip archive. To create a zip archive on Windows 7, you right-click or you hover over it and right-click. The course website HelpFAQ discusses how to create zip archives for Windows 7, different versions of Windows, and for Macintosh. I'll demonstrate it here for Windows 7, but if you're on a different platform, then you want to go to the course HelpFAQ on the website to see how to create a zip archive for your platform. So again, on Windows 7, we hover over it, and I'm going to right-click and choose Send to Compressed Folder, and you can see it even says zipped here. So I'll do that, and it's going to create another folder for me called, the original Word document was called TA Training. This is called tatraining.zip. This is tatraining.doc. This is tatraining.zip. If I double click the single file called tatraining.zip, it opens up as if it were a folder, and we see the original Word document inside. This document is compressed. If I look at the file size of tatraining.zip, which remember contains tatraining.doc, we see that its file size is almost 7,000 bytes, which is much smaller than the original Word document, which was 34,000 bytes. The beauty of zip is that the information is still there. The Word document is exactly the same, it's just compressed with lossless compression from 34,000 bytes down to 6,000 bytes. The other thing about zip archives is that they can contain more than one file. So for instance, say I had done a lab where I was supposed to turn in the two images that I made, FIRDimage.bmp and FIRDimage.jpg, along with the Word document. I could simply drag the other files that I want to put into the archive over this thing that appears to be a zipped up folder, which is really a single file called, in this case, tatraining.zip. Now I look inside the archive and I see that all three are there. This is one file, although it looks a little like a folder on Windows, but see the zipper. One file called tatraining.zip that contains three other files. Typically we have you, when you're turning something in, name it, so I'll rename this to, say, homework1.zip, and now it's a single file, homework1.zip, containing three other files that I generated, say, presumably in the homework, and I would upload this file in whatever way is specified for turning in assignments in the course.